The Culling is the latest trending early access indie survival sandbox game. I'm sure you listened to that opening statement, early access indie survival sandbox game, and let out a quiet but nonetheless audible sigh, rolled your eyes and said to yourself, oh great, another one? Well, someone throw it on the pile. Because I most certainly did. It's a genre that, if I were to describe it as being nauseatingly derivative, would be giving the level of creative thinking involved in its production way too much credit. The indie game scene is often mocked for being highly derivative and trend-based in nature, and that's incredibly true. The fact that this isn't running on the fucking Unity engine is a small consolation to the bitter rage that I'm trying my best to suppress, for the purpose of giving you a bias-free review of this trash. The survival game trend didn't come out of nowhere, of course. The flood of sandbox survival games drowning the online marketplace only started about 2 years ago. This genre's inception can likely be found in the trend of making many zombie mods for the Unreal Engine and Source, such as Zombie Panic, Killing Floor and Zombie Master. If you were an aspiring game developer in the late 2000s and you didn't have at least 7 different unfinished source mods under your belt, you would have considered yourself a failure in life. In times of yesteryear, you might have fallen into the trap of having fun while playing these games, or at the very least appreciated the ambition and effort that went into making these games, and their various nuances in gameplay. But thankfully, I'm here to disseminate this rubbish for your amusement. Ultimately, these games never broke into the mainstream arena because they were all little projects developed by losers in their basement thinking, wouldn't it be cool if we put zombies in an RTS game versus human players? While yes, this concept is both fun and cool, it's terribly unoriginal in that it has zombies in it, so Zombie Master can suck my balls. Mods like these were throwaway games that just casually followed the popular opinion and trends within their social circles, without any regard for individual thought or criticism. These games may have been very mechanically different, but they could all be grouped together in one vague genre classification, which means they're all exactly as bad as each other. While it's fun to mock the hard work of other people, we have to sit back and realise that while these games are all shit, they're inoffensive shit, because when I spent hundreds of hours playing these games, I never had to pay a dime for them. That all changed when that scoundrel Rocket produced the incredibly popular and successful DayZ. This zombie survival game is now possibly the third most well-known mod of all time, right under World of Warcraft's Quest Tracker and Skyrim's Horse Genitalia. Like those before, DayZ used the zombie survival trend and duct taped it onto a new game, in a desperate hope that he would make $20 in donations for server maintenance. Turns out it made a shitload more than $20, an unprecedented achievement in its contribution to the collapse of the video game industry. You might think this statement is hyperbole, but you must realise what he did. And what he did is that he made every schmuck under the sun realise that anyone with enough time, effort and luck could both make a game themselves and earn a living off it. Fucking cunt. But not only that, he standardised the formula and established the conventions that all indie games now obey with religious fervour. He made developers realise that they could release early access and beta versions of their games out the door early and make the consumer pay for it. While you might think this system is designed for early adopters to help support certain games that they have particular interest in, and only an idiot would buy a game full price that's unfinished and early in its development cycle, with no assurance of what the final product will look like, let alone if it will ever see completion. The end result is that unfinished games are sold on Steam, which means I as a consumer have to exercise caution and investigate the games that I play, rather than buying everything under the sun during the Steam summer sales. The massive success of DayZ led to the death of creativity in indie developers and small game studios alike. It's now a mad dash to see who can capitalise on being like DayZ but not broken and unfinished. The irony is, they always are. Riddle me this, if Rocket hadn't made DayZ, would you have seen low quality games flooding the Steam marketplace in an attempt to bandwagon off current popular titles? Exactly, I thought not. Anytime the genre crops up, I can immediately dismiss it because these games are cash grabs and knockoffs by their very nature. And now I have to look at Twitch TV's front page and see a new survival title every week. And now we've come full circle. The Culling is the latest of these. So now, with all that being said, how good is The Culling? Well, I don't know, I've never played it. I mean, what kind of chump do you take me for? I'm better than that. Buying early access games. You must think I'm some sort of fool. Anyway, I'm gonna go play some Street Fighter 5.